There's a specific kind of failure that no one talks about honestly. Not the failure that comes from bad luck. Not the failure that comes from lack of talent or opportunity. The kind where you were right there. Everything was lined up. And then, quietly, almost invisibly, you destroyed it yourself. Researchers estimate that up to 70% of people chronically repeat self-defeating behaviors even when they are fully aware those behaviors are hurting them. Not because they're weak, not because they're stupid, because something deeper is running the show. Something that wants you to fail. And here's what nobody tells you. That thing isn't your enemy. It thinks it's protecting you. The question is, protecting you from what? This is the mind shadow. We go where most self-improvement content refuses to go, into the uncomfortable architecture of the human mind. Self-sabotage is one of the most studied and least understood phenomena in behavioral psychology because it defies the most basic assumption about people that they want to succeed. What you're about to hear will reframe how you see your own choices, your procrastination, your relationship patterns, the opportunities you let expire. By the end of this, you won't just understand self-sabotage. You'll recognize exactly where it lives in your own life. And recognition, as you'll see, is the only door out. Let's start with the architecture. Self-sabotage is not random. It follows a predictable structure that psychologists call a behavioral loop. Trigger, avoidance behavior, short-term relief, long-term cost. The trigger is almost always the same thing. Discomfort. Specifically, the discomfort of possibility. Consider Ernest Hemingway, one of the most celebrated writers in history. A man who, by his own account, spent more time avoiding writing than actually writing. He drank to the edge of destruction. He picked fights. He blew up marriages. At the height of his creative power, he was engineering reasons not to sit at the desk. That's not coincidence. That's a pattern. Because sitting at the desk meant confronting whether the next thing he wrote would be good enough. Failure by not trying is safer than failure by trying everything and still coming up short. Your brain understands this calculus at a level deeper than language. When you feel the pull towards something meaningful, your nervous system registers it as threat, not opportunity, threat. So it finds reasons to pull you back. Suddenly you're tired. Suddenly there's something else to handle. Suddenly it's not the right time. That voice isn't laziness. That pull isn't weakness. It's a protection mechanism doing exactly what it was built to do, just in the wrong direction. Now here is where it gets darker and more specific. The mechanism isn't just fear of failure. Research from the University of Melbourne found that fear of success is a statistically significant predictor of self-sabotage, and it operates completely below conscious awareness. You don't feel afraid of success. You feel unmotivated. You feel distracted. You feel like it's not the right moment. But underneath that, your brain is running a threat simulation. It's asking, if I actually succeed here, what changes? Who do I become? What gets expected of me? What do I lose? And this is where identity enters the room. Because your brain does not distinguish between physical survival and identity survival. If who you become contradicts who you've always understood yourself to be, your nervous system will resist it with the same urgency it would use to resist walking into traffic. Psychologist Claude Steele called this phenomenon self-concept maintenance. You will unconsciously behave in ways that confirm your existing self-image, even when that self-image is built on limitation. If you've always been the person who almost made it, Your mind will engineer almost. If you've always been the one who carries struggle, ease will feel foreign and dangerous. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio demonstrated that emotional memory shapes decision-making faster than rational thought. By the time you consciously decide to procrastinate, quit, or pick a fight with someone who matters, the emotional brain has already made its choice. You're just narrating it after the fact. Now here's the angle most people never consider. Self-sabotage doesn't only happen inside you, it can be weaponized from the outside. And if you understand how it works internally, you'll immediately recognize when someone else is triggering it deliberately. This is standard practice in manipulation. A skilled manipulator doesn't attack your goals directly. They confirm your doubts. They remind you most subtly of the times you failed before. They ask questions that sound supportive but are engineered to activate your self-concept. Are you sure this is the right time? You've tried something like this before, haven't you? I just don't want you to get hurt again. Each of those statements is a precision strike at your identity. They're planting the trigger that your own nervous system will pull for them. You do the rest. But here's the other side of that blade. When you understand this mechanism, you can use it ethically, on yourself. The research on implementation intentions, developed by psychologist Peter Gollwitzer, shows that pre-committing specific actions to specific triggers reduces self-sabotage by more than 50%. You're not fighting the loop. You're hijacking it. Instead of waiting to feel motivated, you decide in advance that when the avoidance impulse arrives, and it will, you have already chosen what happens next. The goal isn't to eliminate the protection mechanism. The goal is to redirect it. Because the same brain that can manufacture 100 reasons to stop can be trained to manufacture one reason to move. Now, the reframe. Remember the open loop from the beginning, saying, and the question of what your brain is protecting you from. Here's what the research actually points to. It's not failure. It's not success. It's unfamiliarity. Your brain is a prediction machine. Its primary function is not to make you happy. Its primary function is to keep reality predictable. Suffering you understand is safer than joy you can't yet map. This is why people return to the same damaging relationships, why people recreate the same financial disasters, why some men unconsciously tank the opportunities that would finally change everything. It is not because they don't want better. It is because better is unknown, and the unknown is registered as danger before it is registered as possibility. The most disturbing implication of this? Your self-sabotage has been rational. From your brain's perspective, it has been doing its job perfectly. The problem was never your discipline. The problem was never your potential. The problem was that your definition of safe was built a long time ago, in circumstances that no longer exist. You've been living by a map drawn in a place you no longer live. Changing it doesn't require motivation. It doesn't require willpower. It requires the slow, deliberate act of making the unfamiliar familiar until your brain stops calling it a threat and starts calling it home. You came here with a question you maybe didn't know you were asking. Now you have the answer. And the answer is uncomfortable, because it means the obstacle was never outside you. It was built by you, for you, with the best intentions. The work now is not to destroy that mechanism. It's to renegotiate what safety means. That work is slow. It is not glamorous, but it is the only work that actually matters. If this reached something real in you, stay close. There is much more in the shadows left to explore. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it more than they know. I'll see you in the shadows.